Hello, my name is Carrie Hope Fletcher and I felt like it was time for a little bit of a reintroduction. It's funny because I thought the majority of my growing and learning was going to be done, you know, in the sort of earlier years of my life, mainly in my 20s, which is definitely true. However, my 30s, I'm 32, have felt so far like I'm watching the dust of my 20s settle and I'm finally getting to sort of see what person has been formed out of those experiences. And I'm finally at a place where I feel like I'm really sort of proud of who I am and who I've become and who my experiences have made me. And I think that's a really big thing to be able to say, because I don't think I've ever really been able to say that before. And that's not to say that I'm done learning or there's nothing that life can teach me anymore. Relatively, still very young. But I think this is the first time in my life where I felt settled. And that is a really delicious feeling. And so I felt like it warranted a little reintroduction. I also have a lot going on in the next few months, which I've not really talked about in any detail. So this is the chance to do it. And I'm gonna try and keep it quick because I don't want this to be like a 40-minute video, nor should it be. There's not that much to say. But I am gonna split this into professional and personal. I'm gonna start with professional and end warm and fuzzy on personal. So, hello. My name is Carrie Hope Fletcher. I am a musical theatre performer and author, and also vlogger on the side. I am 32 years old. I was born October 22nd, 1992. So for those of you keeping track, I am 33 very, very soon. And the reason I'm sat in this very plush dressing room is because I'm currently on tour with Calamity Jane, playing Calamity Jane. And this is actually our final week of the tour. We are in Bristol, and in 20 minutes I have to go to warm up because we have a matinee today. I have been very lucky with the roles that I've played over the years. I've made a little list for anyone who is interested. I started my career when I was 20 years old playing Eponine in Les Miserables. It was a dream role. It was the holy grail of roles. And then I moved on to playing Beth, Parson Nathaniel's wife in The War of the Worlds. Then Trudy Scrumptious in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Then Wednesday Addams in The Addams Family. Then Veronica Sawyer in Heathers. Then Cinderella in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella at the Gillian Lynn Theatre in London. Then Grusha in The Caucasian Chalk Circle. Then on to Elizabeth and Lady of the Chamber in The Crown Jewels. And then back to Calamity Jane, playing Calamity Jane. But what's coming up? What's next? That is the question that all performers dread being asked, but I am very lucky to have not one, but two very exciting projects coming up. One of them I've already started. I started rehearsals for it on Monday, so I'm sort of flitting between the two this week, and that is Elf, which is opening this October before Halloween at the Aldwych Theatre in London's glittering West End, and I am playing Jovi, but my husband, John Montague, is playing Buddy the Elf. It's amazing because I get to spend Christmas at home in London with my family, which is just, more on my family in a minute. And I'm so, so very lucky to say that once Elf has finished, I get about a month and a half off, and then I am moving on to play Jenna Hunterson in the UK tour of Waitress. I will only be performing the first 12 weeks after touring Calamity Jane from January to September. It has been quite a lot. So I am very, very lucky that I am being allowed to just do the first 12 weeks because Jenna has been a dream role for a very, very long time. I auditioned for both Dawn and Jenna when it first came to the West End I auditioned 2018, but I think the show opened 2019, if I'm right in saying. And back then I was 25 years old auditioning for Dawn, who I'm just not suited to that part. That is not a role that is meant for me, but I just wanted to be seen by the team, which is why I went in for that role. And I was told that I was too young in playing age for Jenna, which is about right, because at the time of auditioning I was playing a 17-year-old. But now that I'm 32 and I am a mother myself and I have sort of those experiences, I think and I hope the Waitress team thinks that I've matured in playing age and looks. And I'm now at a point where Jenna is a role that I can play, and I'm so, so excited to take her on. The music, the score, it really has been a dream role for such a long time, and I am so, so lucky that I get to live out that dream. So that theatrically is what is coming next. I am also an author. I have written 9 books, 1 non-fiction, which is where my career as an author began. Then I went on to write 5 novels, which are categorized as women's fiction. And then I wrote 3 middle grade books for 8 to 12-year-olds. And all of them are magical in some way. I really love magic, magical realism, sprinkling, you know, fantasy and whimsy throughout real life settings. So all of my books are kind of to do with that. I will list them all and link to them all below if it's something that you are interested in. Maybe I'll do a separate video where I detail what all of my books are about. My little red light is blinking at me and I don't think I have a spare battery with me. So this might be a problem, and maybe we cut to me somewhere else or in different clothes on a different day. Yeah, my camera ran out of charge. So I had to go and do a show and charge the camera throughout the first show. So, moving on to personal. I am married to a fellow musical theatre performer called Joel Montague, and we had what some would call a whirlwind romance. We've known each other for about 10 years now, but the first time we met was in 2015, and I booked tickets to go and see a show called Urinetown, and it just so happened that the night I booked to see the show, Joel went on for the lead. He was first cover, so it was his first night on playing the lead, Bobby, in Urinetown. And I had a friend in the show who actually helped me get the tickets, and I was like, at stage door, I need to meet the guy who played Bobby because, oh my god, he was amazing. And my friend was like, that was his first time on. I said, oh my god, are you kidding me? He was unbelievable. And then we sort of met each other every now and again at like press events, or I was in a show called Heathers with his housemate, Ed Barua, and Joel was then in Kiss Me Kate with my friend Becky Locke, and Joel's best friend was in Les Mis with me back in like 2014. So we had lots of little crossovers, and we saw each other at, you know, various sort of press nights and after show drinks and whatnot, but we were always sort of in each other's periphery. Then at the beginning of 2022, we found ourselves in a position to chat to each other and suddenly realize, there could be something here. Why have we never explored this? So long story short, we had our first date in May. We were engaged by October, married by the following February 2023, and pregnant with our baby girl June 2023, and she was born March the 1st, 2024. So we have a daughter called Mabel. She is just hysterical and wonderful and just so full of life and character, and she is a fully fledged time waster, meaning I could sit and watch her for hours and hours on end because I just want to know what's going on in her little brain. She's just, I love her so much. I know you're meant to be obsessed with your own kids, but my god, I am obsessed with her. I can feel myself around my friends being that annoying mum who wants to show them videos and photos of their kid all the time, and I just don't care. I just don't care. You will look at this video of my child being adorable. We also have a tuxedo cat called Edgar. He was a stray cat who found his way into my parents' garden during lockdown, and after searching high and low for a very long time for some kind of owner, we were given the option by the vet who sorted him out. He had like a cyst on his neck and terrible teeth and was in a really bad way. The vet was like, either you hand him over to the RSPCA or you have a cat. My parents had female cats at the time and he was a male cat and they weren't getting along, so I was like, me, I'll have him. And he's now been my gorgeous little Edgar Bean for 5 years now, and he's brilliant and we love him. And Mabel wants to be his best friend, and Edgar tolerates the fact that she wants to be his best friend. I am about to embark on a 100-kilometer trek through the Sahara Desert in aid of COPPAFEEL. That starts November the 8th. I'm taking some time out of ELF to go on this trek with my sister-in-law, who is a patron of COPPAFEEL. This is the first time I'm going on one of these treks. I'm quite nervous, but more excited. We are raising money, so I will put my Just Giving page below, but there's over 120 trekkers who are going on this excursion. So I will also put the link to the leaderboard so you can go and share all of their pages and hopefully donate to some of them if you can. That would be amazing. But aside from that, I love Disney, I love theatre, I love anything that's like slightly spooky or witchy. I love coffee and tea, but I drink coffee out of necessity and tea for pleasure. I love books. I love reading, I love writing, I love stationery. I started vlogging back in 2011. My original YouTube channel name was It's Way Past My Bedtime. I think I look quite different to how I looked when I started the YouTube channel, but I was part of that British YouTube crowd for a while, and I still love making YouTube videos. It's just the culture around it is kind of different now, and I used to like really hustle on YouTube because I was an unemployed actress, but then when I, you know, started acting full-time, there was less time for YouTube, and you know, obviously now I'm a mom as well, so there's even less time for it, but it's still something that I love doing, even though it's not like my main focus anymore. But the world of YouTube and social media really opened up so many doors for me. I am very aware that as a musical theatre performer, my job first and foremost is to try and be the best performer that I can be, and that when I'm given a role, I am playing that role to the absolute best of my ability and doing it as much justice as I am capable of. However, I also know that one of the reasons that I get looked at more so than, you know, maybe other people is because I also come with the added bonus of you lot. I come with the very enticing offer of people who will buy tickets to come and see me in a show. So thank you for being such a dedicated and loyal and kind and supportive audience over the years, because the pairing of my dedication to do every role I am gifted justice with your support and your dedication, we've created something really magic over the last 13 years. So I think that is me in a nutshell, and I'm excited for what's to come.